All right, let's get started porting these cylinder heads. I've already CC'd them. This is the front head. I'll do it first. And right now I'm just getting the rough estimate of what I'm doing. This is a new Fordham tool to me, or die grinder, whatever you want to call it. I'm used to using air, but I have a really small compressor that can't keep up with my air die grinder. So just get started on this. Now, remember, safety glasses, or if you're like me, you need glasses anyway. So we're starting off with a cross-cut steel burr, or general purpose, and then we'll switch over to aluminum. So right now I'm just roughing the seat in, where the seat protrudes past the aluminum a little bit. And we'll start there, and then we'll switch over and start doing the actual port itself around the guide. We're going to check that really quick there to see if we got started around there. Yeah, we got a good start. We'll work on that a little bit more once we get the other side done. So we're going to start on, I'm going to start on this side now. A little bit harder because I don't have my stand anymore for this. So remember, you're not trying to remove a ton of material to really just hog it out. That's how you lose power, just hogging it out. You're just trying to get everything to flow a little bit better. And you know, you can do it fairly easily if you just use your head and think about what you're doing instead of going in there whole hog. So we're going to widen the area of the port right here around the throat where it comes into the bowl. And we're going to thin up this guide boss. And I'll show you that in a little bit once I get to it, but not quite there yet. So, too, you're not trying to really smooth this thing. Well, I mean, you smooth the airflow out, but you don't want this thing shiny in any way. So we're going to finish it up with like a 60 grit sanding roll is what I got, which leaves a little bit rough finish in there, which is what you want on the intake side. The exhaust side, you want it as shiny as you can get it, mainly to keep carbon from building up. It does reflect some heat, but you use your finger as a guide there so you can tell if you got any really sharp angles left in there. Like I said, you're going to widen it this way to the sides. Don't touch the floor too much. You don't want to flatten off the floor. So what happens a lot of times, people port heads and they end up with the floor looks like this, which just totally ruins it. You want it kind of transition, rounded, so to speak. Perfect example, if you ever have a shovel head apart, shovel head ports are horrible, especially the floors. I've seen them before where the floor of the port goes up. I have like a 90-degree edge right there. So when the air comes across, it smacks right into the back side of the port. Totally disrupts flow. Same thing with iron heads. Really bad iron heads I've taken and used marine text to build up the floors of the ports, basically reshape the port. You can do it with JB Weld too. I've used marine text a lot, or used to, which is marine epoxy. It works really good. It doesn't come off. Gas doesn't seem to affect it. You know, whenever you're putting epoxy in there, you're always worried about stuff coming off and getting sucked down the port, but never had any come off. So like I said, this is just preliminary. Now, if your burrs start to gum up, you need to use some lubricant on there. Kerosene works really well, or actually one of the best things to use, and I don't have any, is stuff for lubing the chain, that chain wax. Chain wax works really good. In fact, usually what I used to do is buy a tube of it. They have a special wax for porting, and looks like comes in a short grease panel, and you just dip your top in there, get it hot, and dip it in there, and get back to porting, and then switch to using chain wax because it was more easily available, and you could just spray it on and go. So we're pretty good. I'm probably going to shoot some kerosene down in here. I don't have any sticking yet, but you don't want to wait till you got sticking. The cross-cut burrs seem to stick more than these hog burrs do. Still, once the aluminum stuck to them, they're pretty much trash. So let's get some kerosene and spray in here. All right, we're filled up with kerosene. Let me see if I can show you down in this port here. So that's just rough cut right now. We haven't even really taken that much material out, which we don't want to take a lot out. We just want to reshape it. Got around the guide boss a little bit. We're going to work on the guide boss area a little bit more when I switch burrs out. But we got horrible light in here, so that's where we're sitting at right now. Just widen it up a little bit down in on the sides. So I've just widened it here and over here a little bit, and we'll reshape that some more. And once we get it rough shaped, then we'll switch over to a 60 grit sanding roll. And we're not going to touch the floor too much where it transitions down on the in here, like right in here. Let me get a pointer out. Okay, so we're working on this area over here. This is where we're widening here, and over on this side here. And when I switch burrs out, I'll work on this guide boss some more. And I'm still going to cut this guide down about 200 thousandths off the bottom there. I still got to do some over here on this side and over here on this side where it transitions in there. And a lot of it's a feel thing. I mean, I've done a lot of these over the years. A lot, even before I had access to a flow bench. And the truth is, everybody says you can't do it without a flow bench. Well, I have to ask, what did they do before they had flow benches? What were they doing to make stuff to go fast before they ever had flow benches? They were doing it by hand, trial and error. And then once you figure it out, you know what shape the port should be. And from then on out, you're good to go. It's like saying, oh, well, you have to have CNC heads. Well, yeah, CNC heads are nice, but you have to remember, there's somebody that hand-ported stuff before they ever come up with CNC porting. Somebody actually had to develop a port that worked really well. And then they took a port mold of it, and somebody programmed it into their CAM software to be able to do it. So the genius isn't at the guy that's CNCing. It's the guy that actually came up with the port to do the port mold. That's the genius. But that's neither here nor there. So let's get back to it. I got some kerosene now. These are brand new burrs, and I don't want to ruin them yet. They weren't extremely expensive, but I'm poor, so they were expensive to me. Okay, hopefully you'll all be able to see this while I'm doing it. I'm probably going to edit most of this out of here because nobody wants to sit and watch this for hours to do it. So a little bit of kerosene in there. Glasses back on. And just take your time doing it. You're not in a hurry to do it. In fact, the best time to do it is wintertime or off season when you don't have and I'm going to go ahead and switch out to the smaller burr to get in there. The guide now should have a little ball in here, little ball burr. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, we're pretty roughed in now. Let me see. Might have to do a little bit more down in the bowl here. A little bit deep right there, but that's okay. Still needs to be straightened out down there at the side. Need to be careful with them hog burrs. They'll take a lot of material out at one time. Guide boss area is looking pretty good. Still needs to be straightened up, but we got our basic shape in there. Let's start working on with the sanding rolls now. Let me show you guys this first before I get in on the sanding rolls. So that's our basic shape right there. Now I'll work on that guide boss area a lot more with the sanding roll. Smooth out this area right in here along the sides where it transitions in on each side, like right in here, right where the guide boss comes into the bowl. Like I said, I'll top this guide off about a 1/4 inch off the top of it, then kind of bullet nose it in as best I can. Used to have a cutter for that, but that's gone with a lot of my other stuff, so we'll have to do it by hand. Let me show you this side over here. That's our basic shape. So what we did is we widened it. We've widened it over here on this side and over here on this side. And then open the bowl up a little bit where it transitions in. And we'll have to, well, the floor transitions over on this side. We want a nice radius in there. So we'll do that with the sanding roll. And as far as this goes around right here, around the guide boss, I'll thin this out right in here with the sanding drum here and over here. And I'll show you that when I get to it. I'm getting ready to do it right now. So we're 25 minutes into this video, and I'll pare it down to a lot less. So I'll try and keep all the key points in there. Okay, let me swap out to the sanding drum here. See if you can't see that a little better while I'm in there. A little bit more on the left side here, on the back side, towards the right side of the head. Now, when you're trying to radius, you got to roll the die grinder back and forth to get your radius. Don't kind of hold it in one spot. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So what I mean by rolling it is you're in here like this, and you're going to be at this angle, and then you're going to just kind of roll it like this, back and forth while you're going along. You can feel it with your finger if you got a nice radius in there. You feel any sharp edges? You need to take care of those. So I need to work on this area right here and right over here. Kind of sort of on the floor where the floor comes in. So you want a nice radius and floor there where it goes into the seat area. And I've got it pretty good. I think I need to work on this side over here a little bit more now. Let me see. Yeah, seats, need to work on the seat area over here a little bit. Right there. Right where the seat comes in. And you see if I can top this guide off. And we should be good to go onto the exhaust port, which isn't going to be today. That'll probably be tomorrow or Sunday. Depends on what my wife's got me doing, because she's off tomorrow and Sunday and Monday too. So, you know how that goes. Got to play it by ear. They are having, we might go to spectate, but they're having a race at Rockingham next Saturday and Sunday. I think Saturday from 9 till whenever, and basically Sunday night. Sunday night starts at I think 8 p.m. They're going to have Pro Fuel and Nitro, Top Fuel, Pro Mods, all that stuff there. So we'll probably ride down there and see what the hell's going on. Just to spectate. It's about an hour and a half drive, hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Not too far. And Rockingham's a damn nice track. So let me see if I can get this guide topped off. All right, I'm just working on this intake guide to shorten it up a little bit, trying to get it nice and round now. So I've only taken off a little over 1/8 of an inch. I can go down, it was 2,450. Trying to shorten up the guide in there. You see it right there. It's a little uneven right now. It's hard to get in there. I used to have a tool to do it with. Had a pilot on there where I could just pretty much hook it up to a drill and cut the end of the guide off. But I don't have one anymore, so I'm having to do it by hand, which is fine because you still want to kind of sculpt the ends of the guide there. Which if you use a cutter to do it, you still have to sculpt the end of the guide. So let me see if I can even this thing out now. I was using a die grinder bird to do it with, because you'd be here all day long with this sanding drum trying to do it. These things ain't as cheap as they used to be, so kind of use them sparingly. It's looking a lot better. Still need to put a little bit more of a radius on it, but we're getting there. Might be easier to do it in my lap so I can see it better. Only taking off 125 thousandths exactly, or actually a little bit more than 125. So actually it was like 1.5 something to 2.1 was the safe bet. So I could actually still take quite a bit more off of here, which I think I will. Really worried about long longevity on this thing, and the stem to guide clearances are right at 1 thousandths on these things on the intakes and 2 thousandths on the exhaust. I mean, dead nuts on. So I'm going to keep working on this thing and take off probably another. I'll probably take off another 125 thousandths. Or we'll see. We'll see how far I go on this. That's enough for this one. I'll do this thing, edit it, and get it up there tonight. And probably start on the exhaust guide maybe tonight, more likely tomorrow. Depends on what the wife's got me doing. So we'll see. You guys have a great weekend. Have fun. Take care. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And take care.